.3 WHPC, WHPC HD, Garden City, New York. Welcome to From the Press Box. Here every Monday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., talking sports. I am Rob Leonard, and joining me is my co-host, and yes, he is my brother, Tim Leonard, as we talk sports every week at this time. If you'd like to join in on the fun, or at least have a conversation, 516-572-7440. I'm not sure where to start, brother, because you were at the All-Star break, which usually means the Mets, except for the last few years, usually choke.
Let's start here, brother. Turn on the air conditioning. It's hot in here.
It is on.
It's not on.
It is.
I don't feel it.
Well, it doesn't blow over to you.
I don't feel it. It's hot. I'm sweating already. So turn on the air conditioner.
It's at 62 degrees. Look, brother. I'll change the fan direction. How's that?
Change the fan direction. Do something.
It's on high fan.
Do something. I'm gonna be high maintenance today.
Yeah,
because it's hot.
The AC was off for like 25 minutes. So the AC room, you see the soundproofing that absorbs heat and then it keeps it in the room.
Yes, bro. All right, that's good. People don't want to know that much stuff.
I'm just saying, So anyway, where would we start, brother? Do we talk about the All-Star game? Do we talk about how the Yankees are? Oh my God, what happened to my Yankees?
Your Yankees?
Yeah.
Who's that guy on Facebook Live who's always saying that you can't talk about the Yankees because you're a Met fan?
Vinny.
Vinny's listening. He's gonna be upset.
Vinny's
your Yankees. When did that happen?
Vinny's a huge Yankee fan. He once wrote a thing. He took someone's license who's a Mets fan, and he wrote a wanted poster, and it said the crime. He wrote being a Mets fan.
Being a Mets fan. Well, it's the New York Post back page headline from about a month and a half ago. Why does God hate the Mets? That's the best headline in the baseball season so far.
Well,
maybe
we found out because they're bench pressing thousands of pounds when they should be doing maybe yoga or something.
Well,
I don't know.
Let's talk about the Mets after. Let's talk about the All-Star game first, because it's the All-Star game. I like to start the show off with positives. I've said this before. I like to start with positives. I
don't like to speculate about games because that's not the show becomes worthless right after you do it. But we will say that Michael Conforto
he's an All-Star.
He's an All-Star.
He'll be there tonight. He'll be in Miami. The game actually is tomorrow night. Let's get that straight first. Tomorrow night on Fox.
Right.
I'll give them a plug since they probably paid about $1.5 billion for the game.
It gets me about the All-Star game, and I know why they do it on Tuesday, but you wish they did it on a weekend where more people can watch it and enjoy it. It's an ongoing thing, but it's one thing that bothers me about the All-Star game. I know why they don't
watch it. Why can't they watch it?
But the problem,
it's 8 o'clock. The game's probably starting at 8:30.
Yeah, but if you had it on the weekend, you can do a lot more with it, promotion-wise and stuff like that. What else? What's on the weekends? I know why they don't do it, because they don't want to lose a weekend of games.
And it's also what did Phil Mushnick tell you 2 weeks ago?
So always follow the money.
Follow the money.
I know.
And what does this do for Fox? It gets them boffo ratings.
Right.
Note the word boffo.
Yeah.
On a Tuesday.
Right.
So there you go. That's what it is. I don't even know what's on Fox on a Tuesday.
I have no idea.
So this gets them. They're going to have the number one ranked show on Tuesday night.
Right. I agree.
And again, I don't even know what's on any station on Tuesday night, but Fox is going to win
tomorrow,
this Tuesday night.
ESPN will show the AAA All-Star game.
Well, they had the Futures game yesterday,
right,
which I didn't even realize it was yesterday because there was still Major League Baseball going on. The Team USA wound up beating the World Team 7-6 after taking a 7-0 lead. So the Team USA was just able to hang on for the victory. Nothing great I shouldn't say nothing great from the locals, because Thomas Nido, Mets catching prospect, had a pair of run-scoring singles.
Right.
So and that was for the World Team. If the World Team had won, he probably would have been the MVP, because the RBIs were spread all over the place. Here, I'm going to switch to Facebook Live to get myself back on.
And then other people are saying, why are we bringing him up? That's the next thing.
Well, no, he's a long ways away. I mean, the kid's in Binghamton right now with what was their name? The Show Ponies?
No, the Rumble Ponies.
Rumble Ponies. Sorry, my apologies, Binghamton. Hope that doesn't cost me my bobblehead that I'm supposed to be getting. But
I bet you he forgot.
Well, if he did, I'm going to call him up. But we're talking about a guy who they need minor league seasoning, and that especially goes for catchers. And Nito is a catcher. He has drawn very positive reviews for what he's done this season. He's turning into much more of a hitter. He's supposed to be a very good defensive catcher. And one thing that I remember reading about this kid a few weeks ago, he met Yadier Molina, who is acknowledged as like the godfather of catchers, especially in the Latin community. And the first question that Molina asked him, and the kid said it stuck with him, he said, how do you get along with your pitchers? It wasn't like, how are you hitting or what are you doing here? It's, how do you get along with your pitchers? What an odd question to ask, or seemingly odd question to ask. But Nito has internalized that, and he realizes now that the better he gets along with his pitchers and the better he knows his pitchers, the better off they'll be as a battery and when they're playing in games.
Well, yeah, that's, and the catcher runs the team if he's a good catcher.
Well, yeah, but it seems like common sense. But how many guys actually do that? It's not an automatic like you might think it is.
Well,
so that is because some pitchers have personal catchers.
Right.
When Jorge Posada was with the Yankees, he was a leader on that team, and he knew. There were times when I was covering that team where. I know he got into fights with El Duque. I know that for a fact because it was reported. I didn't see them ever come to blows, but I saw them go nose to nose a couple of times in the clubhouse in full view of reporters, where it was just like going at it, like barking at each other, and it was like, all right, are these guys gonna like actually hit each other, start rolling around on the floor? But they loved each other. But it was kind of like that brotherly love where.
Like
every once in a while, you maybe take a swing at somebody.
I've never hit you.
That's a lie.
That's not true.
That's a complete lie.
I've never hit you.
Complete lie.
I've never hit you in the face.
All right, so does
I've
that
never
make it better?
You. Yeah.
Does that make it better? You're admitting to brother abuse.
When you moved out of your house 7, 8 years ago and you were totally unprepared, didn't pack, didn't have a moving storage unit.
You're admitting to brother abuse.
Did I hit you in the head?
But because you didn't hit me in the head, that makes it better.
Did I take your head and smash it into the wall like I wanted to?
You smashed my stereo.
No, I didn't. I punched the wall, but not like Tom Petty where he broke his hand. I had an open hand.
Tom Petty.
You know the story of Tom Petty?
Who cares?
Tom Petty was so angry at a mix once. He was in the recording, so he punched the wall.
Good idea.
He broke all the bones in his fingers.
Yeah,
he couldn't play for a year.
That's good.
But did I do that to my brother?
Stupid pitchers do that too.
Because even though you weren't prepared.
Why? No, who wants to hear about this?
I'm just saying.
Nobody.
I'm saying I could have hit you then, and I didn't.
You're going off on tangents that nobody cares about.
I could have hit you, and I didn't. I've never hit you.
Congratulations.
I've pushed you. I've given you a brotherly hug.
Ugh.
But I've never punched you in the head.
What a guy. Well, should I say thank you? I
yes,
don't even know how to respond to that.
I am your older brother.
Oh, my God.
And that is my right to punch you out if I have to.
Wow. Do you hear this? Does everybody hear the abuse? That's ridiculous.
Anyway.
It's like, here, I'm going to abuse you because I'm older. Okay, that makes sense.
That's the laws of the land.
No, it's not the laws of the land.
Yes,
it's not the laws of the United States either. Not even in Trump America.
I don't know, man. Anyway, we know Conforto's there from the Yankees.
Wait a minute. Hang on. I'm talking about the futures game real quick here.
Let's hurry up.
Brent Honeywell of the Tampa Bay Rays was the MVP. He was the starter for Team USA through 2 scoreless innings. Astros prospect Derek Fisher had a 2-run double. So besides Nito, Fisher was for Team USA. In a big 4th inning for them, so that was the big hit for Team USA. And like I said, and Domingo Acevedo of the Yankees,
right?
He's a kid who is in, I believe he's moved up to AAA now. But this kid, he throws 100. He is a flame thrower, but gave up 3 runs yesterday in the game. So not an impressive outing for him, unfortunately.
I'm starting to believe that throwing 100 really doesn't matter if you're going to.
It doesn't.
If you're going to get injured every year. Well, or what's happened to the Mets?
Here's all you need to know. Charles Johnson, who you probably don't remember, a former great catcher with the Marlins, and was an outstanding college player at the University of Miami. He was the manager of Team USA yesterday. And he was quoted in, I don't remember where I saw the story, but he was quoted as saying, it's unbelievable to me how many guys just throw 95 like it's nothing anymore. And even, who was this guy? There was a guy who was a former prospect, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. I think it was Andrew Goes, maybe, who used to play for the Toronto Blue Jays, has made a second coming as a player, as a pitcher, and apparently throws 100. And a scout who is still skeptical of this kid just because he throws 100, it's not really that big a deal. But he said, look, every team in baseball has 3 guys in Class A ball, which is a low version of the minor league.
Yeah, I know
who throws at least 95.
Okay.
So there are power arms everywhere now. And every bullpen in the major leagues has at least 2, if not more, guys that throw 97.
It does seem that if you're throwing that hard and that fast, that it seems your arm is going to fall apart.
Yes, that's true. There is a limit to how much the human body...
So
I said this before Syndergaard got hurt.
Right.
His goal was to be throwing like 102 every pitch. It's unnecessary. And it's stupid.
I agree.
And hopefully Syndergaard, when he gets back, realizes that he doesn't have to try to throw 103 or 104. It's one thing for Aroldis Chapman to do it because he's only doing it for 1 inning. And he airs it out, and that's fine. But if Syndergaard thinks he's going to be able to throw 102 for 7 innings, he's insane.
I don't want 102.
It's nice to do it if you can, but when there's a limit. The human body has limits. That's a fact.
I'm not saying otherwise.
So that is the issue with these guys. And if they're going to be bullpen guys and throw 100, hey, that's like I said, that's all well and good. But chances are, the harder you throw, the more likely you are to injure yourself because of the limits of the human body.
I'd rather have a good changeup or a good curveball before 100 miles an hour.
Well, but you need to have the fastball to work off of.
Right, I know, the trick people, I know.
Right, that's what pitching is all. Pitching is all about tricking. You can also say it's about overpowering, but major league hitters, for the most part, can hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
They're used to it now.
That's the point. And hitters, when they get used to something, they hit it. Look at Aaron Judge. How many home runs has he hit off of pitches of 95 miles an hour or better? I would like to get Elias on that.
We should say he is in the All-Star Band.
All-Star Band.
Ringo Starr, I'm thinking of.
I have no idea why.
Because it's Ringo Starr in the All-Star Band.
Oh, who cares?
So anyway, he's been hanging out with A-Rod and J-Lo. You know,
Aaron Judge did an interview. I saw a little clip from the interview, and I didn't realize who was interviewing him. Like, I saw Judge sitting there, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. They have him off on the side in Yankee Stadium, like up in like the second level or something.
Saw that, yeah.
And all of a sudden, I was like, oh, wait, that's A-Rod. Like, what's it? Like, A-Rod's doing an interview. That just seemed really bizarre to me. But then I saw on the internet somewhere, maybe it was ESPN.com, I don't know. But here's a picture of Aaron Judge and J-Lo in the middle and A-Rod just like kind of leaning back up against the railing and trying to look cool and stuff, but he kind of looked awkward and it was weird.
A-Rod never, when he tries to look cool, never is.
A-Rod he's a cool guy, but sometimes he just tries a little too hard. I wish he would stop trying so hard.
When he looked good? He looked good last year after the World Series, analyzing the game. I thought he was very good at the analyzation and. He was
very good.
And you know who's also good, too? And people might not want to hear it. Pete Rose.
Pete Rose was weird.
Well,
but it worked because
he's weird.
Well,
he still's got that Mo Howard haircut from 1962.
But the thing that worked, and the reason that it worked, was because A-Rod was so straight down the middle, and he was just so he was very prepared. I'll give him that. I'll give him all the credit in the world. I thought he was very good. But all of a sudden, then Pete Rose would be like your weird uncle who would all of a sudden just say something out of the blue, who was just like, all right, where did that come from?
I agree with that.
And he was busting A-Rod's chops, and I mean Frank Thomas basically didn't really serve a purpose there as far as I was concerned, but he would egg on Pete to like go after A-Rod, and sometimes Pete would go after Frank Thomas, and it was just. Hey, what's going on? It was such a bizarre thing. And then plus you have the Cubs winning the World Series, so it made it even weirder.
And now Frank Thomas is more known for that commercial now than anything else right now.
Which commercial? I don't
it's
even know.
One of those...
that testosterone commercial, whatever, the pills or whatever?
They don't call it testosterone. They call it something else.
Yeah, eugenics? Or why am I giving him a plug?
Don't. So anyway, the All-Star Game is tomorrow. Does it still matter for the World Series?
No, the All-Star Yeah, all right. The All-Star game is tomorrow.
Does it
That's
still
right, I'm
matter
sorry.
for the World Series? Who gets home?
I don't believe so, but I was,
let's
you
check
know,
it. We'll
yeah,